walked through a graveyard late at night and seen a coffin open?
Have you ever thought what it would be like to see a person's head amputated?
Think of things so horrible that the human mind cannot imagine them.
See all this and more when you see on stage, in person,
That crazy mixed up Dr. Evil and his terrors of the unknown.
unlike anything that you ever seen or heard of in the past.
Hideous creatures from beyond the grave leave the stage and grab girls right out of their seats.
Girls, do not come alone. Bring your boyfriend to protect you when the lights go out.
You may find a live snake or rat under your seat.
A real dead body is given away to some lucky person at every performance.
Also, in person.
The Mummy and King Kong, famous Hollywood gorilla, real and alive.
Plus, on the screen, 2 horrific motion pictures.
Dr. Evil and his terrors of the unknown.
Plus 2 horrific pictures.
When you dream of me, do you wake up wet? When you dream of me, do you wake up screaming, screaming? When you dream of me at night, do you drip with lust? Do you shake with fright? Do you scream for help? Or do you scream for me? When you feel my breath, does it leave you warm? When you taste my kiss, does it leave you freezing, freezing? When we're alone and the night is dark, is it fear or passion that grips your heart? Do you scream for help, or do you scream for me? Scream for pleasure, scream for pain. Ain't you figured it out yet? To me it's the same.
Creeps and Cretins, welcome back. I'm Master Seth, the Master of Ceremonies,
And I'm Mistress Dandeli, your queen of creep.
and you are once again watching movies from the Madhouse. Now, if this is your first time here, here's what we do. We watch a movie, we stop it every 20 minutes or so and talk about it, give you some facts, have a little fun. So,
We want you to be right at home in our living room.
So tonight we are watching an early film. If you haven't seen it, you're in for a treat.
Oh, it's marvelous.
Tonight we are watching The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari from 1920, a great example of the German Expressionist movement in film of the early 20th century. Just recently turned 100 years old.
Indeed.
So we'll get to it, and we've got some cool stuff for you. We're gonna talk about the stars and the director a little bit. We may even have some footage of honest-to-goodness space aliens to share with you.
There may be space aliens.
So we'll see how everything goes. I think we got a lot of surprises for you because we got to fill up 2 hours, and this is not a very long film. So let's see what happens. The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari on movies from the Madhouse.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the ugliest of them all? Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?
Devil woman!
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the most terrifying of them all?
The Countess Dracula.
It's beautiful. Beautiful. Have I changed so much?
As a flower changes from bud to bloom, past recognition.
There once was a countess young and fair, with tender skin and flaxen hair. Oh, countess, how do you keep your looks? What secrets in these ancient books?
The book!
What book?
The chapter on blood sacrifices.
Please help me. I don't know what's happened to me.
Say it, lovely. Say it.
Yes. Yes, yes, I love you. Yes.
Don't you realize that you get uglier each time you get old? And you can't go on killing forever?
Why not?
That woman embodies all the virtues.
Mistress, friend, and mother in one. Does such a woman exist?
You know she does.
Do your lovers know how you cling to youth? Dare you tell them the dreadful truth? These walls could tell, but cannot speak, of the sudden cry, the muffled shriek.
Dobie.
Where is she?
Look at me, Dobie. Look at me.
And what will your daughter say? She arrives tomorrow, and she'll find you as young as she is.
Hold me.
No. Blood. Whose blood?
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the most terrifying of them all?
The Countess Dracula.
Have I changed so much? I don't know what's happened to me.
Blood. Whose blood?
Devil woman.
Come to the asylum. Come to the asylum. To get killed. Come to the asylum.
Yes, I think the time has come to take violence toys away from him.
To get killed. Come to the asylum. To get killed. Asylum.
Now you hurry and get dressed, and I'll go down the hall and,
Asylum, starring Peter Cushing, Britt Eklund, Herbert Lom, Patrick McGee, Barry Morse, Barbara Parkins, Robert Powell, Charlotte Rampling, Sylvia Sims, Richard Todd, James Villiers. Asylum. Asylum. The most exciting film you'll ever see.
Hey, you want to die, huh? Rev it up.
Action you've never seen races across your screen as you thrill to a new dimension in picture making. Carnival of Souls. This is the shocking story of a who crawled from the river to race through a nightmare, walking a tightrope between heaven and hell. From the unreal, she crashes through to reality. But try as she will to lead a normal life, she is torn from her goal. There's no privacy in a life she's ever watched, tormented. Either it's her neighbor, desirous of her physically, watching her with his leering eye, or it's the evil eye of the man who taunts her, the man who wants her. From the bottom of the river they come. They reach for her. They demand that she dance with them at the Carnival of Souls. She is a girl driven mad by the relentless forces of the beyond. He will not relent as he comes for her again and again. She whirls between the real and the unreal, trying to cling to life.
I like being with you, really I do. I don't want to be alone tonight. I want to be near you.
Honey, you don't want to go in there all by yourself, do you?
But she must watch herself in death. She must dance at the Carnival of Souls held just for her. For they have come for her for the last time, claiming her as one of their own. Carnival of Souls arouses such emotion that the management has been forced to state positively no refunds. Carnival of Souls is the shocker of all time, guaranteed to sweep you into a new dimension of picture making. You can't afford to miss Carnival of Souls.
Okay, first off, I love this movie.
Me too.
I love this fucking movie. But I'm gonna get my one qualm off my chest real quick, okay?
Do it.
I'm not a big fan of these title cards.
Are they too artsy for you?
They're distracting. No, I love artsy.
Yeah.
Artsy. They're just distracting.
Uh-huh.
They don't, you have to think to read them a little bit, you know, just more so than you would if they were just straight up white
Title
letters
cards,
on the screen.
right.
Like we usually have in silent films.
Right.
Other than that, I love it. I love the art direction, how everything in the town is all fucked up and nightmarish.
Totally discombobulated.
You look at the shapes of like windows, the shapes of chairs, these bizarre askew angles that precariously placed carnival rides are on. They're just spinning and spinning and spinning.
Off.
Yeah.
Very off kilter. I think everybody is off kilter.
Everyone acts just a little off. It's hard to say that kind of shit though when you're watching a silent movie, you know. It's hard to say how much of it is that
off, though.
Silent film style of acting. They are pretty off.
Pretty strange.
It is pretty strange.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to get stranger. The movie was directed in 1920 by Robert Wine. He worked in Germany and later London and Paris in film from, I believe, 1912 to, I think, 1938.
Yeah.
In some, as either a writer or director or doing something.
That's awesome.
Major influence on the German Expressionist film movement, which of course opened up the doors for Nosferatu, and you can even see like a big influence of this on shit like Carnival of Souls.
Oh yeah.
You know, another movie where everybody's off kilter. The physical things aren't off kilter, but the people are all off kilter.
Yes.
You know, I love that movie. You can watch it with us on a previous episode.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. How about that opening? That opening's real strange when you're just sitting there talking to that woman.
Yeah.
Remember talking to that guy, that old guy.
And the spirit kind of comes by.
Is she a spirit? I don't know what she is. He says she's my fiance.
Yes.
Doesn't say she's a spirit.
Nope.
But she's acting real strange.
Yeah, she is. Maybe she's on a bunch of sleeping pills and
maybe
just like got up and she's like, oh, I don't know.
Neither of those two guys seem totally on the level either.
No.
To be perfectly honest with you.
No. I am super into the somnambulist, however.
Caesar.
So cool.
The somnambulist.
So
he slept
marvelous.
for 23 years without interruption.
I love him already.
You gotta admire Dr. Caligari for being sure that this was gonna work. I mean, the guy hasn't been awake for 23 years. Right. How did he know the guy was gonna wake up on command like that? Unless he tried it before. But if he tried it before, then that 23 years thing is a lie.
I think it's a lie.
Although Caligari doesn't look like the most honest guy, so I guess there's that. Okay, well, we can't forget this prediction. You'll die before dawn.
Oh, yeah.
Tomorrow dawn. That's how long you got.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's going to pan out. I wonder if there's something to this sleeping for 23 years gives you super psychic powers.
Yeah.
We'll see. If so, I'm going to get some sleeping pills, and I'll see you guys in 23 years. But for now, let's get back to the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari on movies from the Madhouse.
We'll see you later. Mm-hmm.
life, Scotty.
But if you're bad boys and girls, your name goes in the bad boys and girls book. And I'll bring you something horrible.
We hope all the boys and girls out there have been good this year, don't we, Bill?
We sure do.
I have something for you.
I have superlative taste.
Santa Claus. That's the only way the police can identify him.
Merry Christmas, Frank.
It's scary. He's gonna get you.
Avoid anyone dressed as Santa Claus.
Don't make kids scared again. They won't think everything's coming to them so easy. They're bad.
Santa's hit list is goddamn selective. He's making a list, checking it twice. Gonna find out who's naughty or
No, it wasn't any of these Santa Clauses. His suit had dark fur.
Don't! It's gonna hurt our kids. We're not even sure it's him.
Not sure my ass. Look at the fur on that suit.
Well, I'm digging it. They thought they caught the murderer. But he's like, no, I didn't do those other ones. I didn't do those other ones.
Something is amiss.
It just keeps getting weirder. And the characters of Dr. Caligari and Caesar just keep getting more sinister.
Yeah, oh yeah. Dr. Caligari's creepy.
Dr. Caligari was played by Warner Krause, who was big in the stage world of the early 20th century.
In Germany.
In Germany. Moved on to film, did Caligari, did a bunch of movies, but ended up that kind of fizzled out a little bit because in 1933 he got affiliated with the Nazis. Fucking Nazis, who he was very sympathetic to. He's very much a Nazi sympathizer, anti-Semite, so that's a fucking shame.
That sucks.
That's a fucking shame.
That really fucking sucks.
So,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, that sucks.
Fucking Nazis.
Goddamn Nazis. Fucking everything up. Nonetheless, he did find roles later on. Worked until his death in 1959. So nearly a 60-year career.
Wow.
But had to take a break to be a fucking Nazi for a little while. So, fuck that guy, I guess.
I don't know. I mean, the movie is really cool.
Oh, the movie's really cool.
What he
but
did
fuck that
after
guy,
this is no good. No good.
Yeah.
Punch a Nazi in the face every day. That's my motto.
No, but I fucking dig this movie. It's just fucking nightmarish. It's a waking nightmare. You know?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and this guy, this fucking Mr. Francis, he is relentless. He is going to expose this shit at all costs.
Yeah.
You know?
It's interesting and odd and very, very otherworldly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
Strange.
Well, let's get back to the weirdness, shall we?
All right.
All
Let's
right.
do it.
Back to the cabinet of Dr. Caligari on movies from the Madhouse.
Come closer. Closer. That's right. I'm Vincent Price. You'll be just as safe in this house of fear as any of the other 5 victims murdered by the Bat. In all of the annals of mystery, there's never been a more elusive, fearsome, and cunning killer. He'll lure you through hidden passages to make you his next victim. But nobody lives forever, so why be afraid of the Bat?
How long's he been dead?
Oh, I'd say about a half an hour. You believe it was the Bat?
That's a Bat's trademark.
Perhaps he's still in the house.
That's possible.
It says here that the Bat never leaves no fingerprints.
That's understandable. Having no face, he probably has no fingers either.
The Bat is waiting for you.
The Screaming Skull is a motion picture that reaches its climax in shocking horror. Its impact is so terrifying that it may have an unforeseen effect. It may kill you. Therefore, its producers feel they must assure free burial services to anyone who dies of fright while seeing The Screaming Skull. Be sure to bring someone with you who can identify you when you see The Screaming Skull. Only this lost soul, half man, half ghost, knows the secret of the living dead's curse. The torturous agony that saturates these walls and makes the shutters creak with almost human pain. Terrorizing those who dare to love with the maddening, jealous shriek of the Screaming Skull. What diabolic demon dares touch the Screaming Skull? What ghoulish thoughts control this poor man's demented mind? What does he know? What secret, horrifying and blood-curdling, is he hiding? Nothing is more terrifying than the spine-chilling breath of a vampire woman. Ghostly, ghastly, as unreal as a will-o'-the-wisp, as real as the skull.
We're back.
The plot sickens.
Yes, it does.
It turns out Caligari is the fucking director of an asylum of some sort, hospital of some sort.
It's not even the real Dr. Caligari.
No, he's obsessed with some other guy.
From the 1700s.
That did all the same shit he's doing.
Yeah.
Exactly, to the fucking letter. The dummy.
Yep.
All the shit.
Everything.
I want to say that scene where Caesar sneaks into that girl's room and his facial expressions and shit and her facial expressions and shit. That is a bitchin' fucking scene.
Really?
That is a bitchin' scene.
He's like, it was scary.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really creepy. Of course, him dragging her through, carrying her through the streets and getting chased by the fucking mob. That's been used.
Mob.
since, you know, that's you can see that in The Bride of Frankenstein and all kinds of shit. This movie was just very influential. Speaking of Caesar, he was played by Conrad Veidt.
Ooh,
who
that's a name I recognize.
Now Conrad Veidt is a funner story to tell than Warner Krause.
Yeah, because he probably didn't turn into a fucking Nazi.
No, around the same time that Warner Krause was hooking up with the Nazis. Now, granted, they hadn't been in a movie. They had not been co-stars since then, as far as I know. Since Caligari, which was 1920, this is 13 years later. Around the time Warner Krause is hanging out with Nazis, fucking Conrad Veidt is fleeing Nazi Germany because his wife is Jewish. You know, and he had been in a bunch of films in Germany. For years, as far as I know, he was known mostly for this film, but in recent years, because people love the Joker, his role in The Man Who Laughs has been making the rounds. You know, which is good. I mean, he's a wonderful actor, and his performance in that is actually better than this. He's kind of, I mean, he's great in this, but he's not given a lot to do. And in The Man Who Laughs, he is. But yeah, he fled to England and did some film there, and then to Los Angeles, and ended up in fucking Casablanca and shit. And
wow,
yeah, he ended up having a Hollywood career, you know, and he worked until he died in I think 1943.
That's cool.
I think 1943. So yeah, we'll get back to the movie in a little bit, but first off, we have some crazy fucking news for you.
Yes.
Crazy news. Forget about the fucking presidential election. Forget about the coronavirus. Okay? We've got something really fucking shattering. This is a Movies from the Madhouse exclusive, okay?
Yeah.
We have received, on camera, definitive proof of extraterrestrial beings from outer space.
Mm-hmm.
We saw them. We filmed them. And
you have to stick around to, like, the end before we get to show it to you.
Oh, we're not going to show them right now? Oh, shit. Okay.
No. You have to wait and watch the rest of this movie and stick around. And then, perhaps, you'll see this crazy, crazy thing we got on film.
Okay. Well then, let's get back to the movie.
All right.
Cabinet of Dr. Caligari on Movies from the Madhouse.
We've got trouble.
Good one.
Right, we're on our way.
Tomorrow we're having you for lunch.
What are we gonna do if we're spotted, Frank? Go, Frank!
Jeez, the real tickets.
Derek was right all along.
Get down. That's the end of the weekend, cowboys. What's up, boss?
You go on. I'm gonna go back and stop those
Bankers.
God's sake, Oz, put that thing down. Let's get in there and hit the leader. Derek! You alright? Get the launcher!
Stan, what have we done? It's a body. We.
Come on, give me a hand. Let's take him to the hospital.
What is it?
I don't know.
Is it still alive?
Whatever it is, I killed it.
What are you doing in my house?
You're right, he does look like a spaceman.
Those things turn out to be unfriendly.
Now what'll we do?
Well, there it is. That was a strong last 15 minutes.
It very, very powerful.
We got to watch Caligari go batshit crazy, locked up in a cell. And then we got to find out that Caligari was not crazy ever, and that the fucking narrator of the story, the whole goddamn story, was the ramblings of some fucking lunatic.
That's right.
What about that ominous ass ending, though?
I know.
With Caligari says, and I know how to cure him.
I know how to cure him, yeah.
The end.
That's it.
I don't trust that son of a bitch.
I know.
I really don't.
Whew. Spooky.
Well, I enjoyed the shit out of the movie.
I love this movie.
I've always liked this movie. I've liked this movie since I discovered it years ago. I get not a fan of these title cards that are on the restored versions,
Yeah.
but other than that, fantastic
So
film.
great.
Super important. 1920, so super influential, super early.
100 years ago.
100 years. 100 years old now.
100. Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
Okay, well, as promised, we have actual footage. We know it's real. We shot it ourselves of extraterrestrials.
Yes.
In action, in public.
In public.
There are witnesses. This is gonna blow the fuck up, okay? This is gonna blow the fuck up. But we're sharing it with you first.
That's right.
Okay? So here it is. We'll be back in a minute to talk about it.
Okay.
Okay. Aliens.
Aliens.
Meep boop meep. We came from space.
Going to get provisions.
Provisions.
I'm going into our local store to get provisions. Hi.
We have arrived. We've come from space.
People are here, Casey. These are not my people.
Don't worry, we have identification.
This. We need these things.
All right.
Here, I shall.
What do we need? What do we need?
Let's see. Do we need?
In order to fit in with the people of Earth,
We should get some provisions. Those are good provisions.
seems excessive. Excessive. That's what Americans like. We are not only on Earth, we are in America.
That's right.
Americans like excessiveness.
Yes.
So let us go fool the Earthlings.
Nice glasses. Those are awesome.
Okay.
Thank you, Earthling.
Okay.
I'm ready for the probing. Sorry, Oh,
we're not doing probing tonight.
We're watching terrible sci-fi movies from outer space.
Name them.
From our homeland.
Name them.
Let's see, which ones are we doing this evening? We're watching
Daytime Ended.
The Daytime
Ended.
The Daytime Ended.
Yes.
1981, I believe.
Oh, yes.
Compass
Yes.
International Pictures.
Super bizarre and culty.
Batman and his Frank Zappa say about sci-fi movies? It was neither the price or the quality of production that determined whether or not it was a quality movie.
Excellent.
There was a...
What was it?
Oh, God, it was...
What determined this?
Well, there was once
Inquiring minds.
a movie about an
Inquiring
upside
minds.
down... What was it? Ice cream cone. And it was pushed across the stage with a 2x4.
Uh-huh.
So you're totally off. 1479. All right. My boss is much better than Frank Zappa was. Not Sam, my boss at the college.
That's what makes him the boss, right?
That and, hey. So I got...
Should be 15.
Yes, you are correct, Spaceman.
Craziness in the store.
Our mathematical abilities are much greater than yours here on Earth.
20 math.
That was fucking amazing. I wondered my entire life. And we've gone through Twilight Zone, X-Files, all that shit. But now we know.
Who knew that they would look so much like us?
They look familiar.
It's amazing.
They look familiar.
Different universes, multi-dimensions.
Multi-dimensions.
Perhaps.
Speaking of people who look familiar, we're doing a new segment on the show tonight.
We are.
To close us out.
Yes.
We're gonna start when we can, showing music videos.
Yeah.
Throughout my years of living in this madhouse, which that's another thing I want to mention about the movie, is that's an asylum that you don't really see asylums like that in movies too often. But that's the most similar to the madhouse we live in.
Yes.
I mean, the walls seem to be painted the same way. The floor, that same old man is there.
Always.
You're just shouting from the doorway.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm getting off point. We're gonna start showing music videos. And musician friends,
Yes.
I would love if you have a music video, please send it to us. Get in touch with us at moviesfromthemadhouse@gmail.com, all lowercase. Or you can get with us on Facebook, or Instagram, or Twitter, or Slasher. We're on Slasher now.
We're on Slasher now.
So all of those formats you can contact us on and give us your music videos. We want your music videos to show during our show. We want to showcase your music videos. Also, I might as well throw it out there. if you're an independent filmmaker and you would like us to show your film on our show, whether it be a short film or a long form film, get in touch with us.
Yeah.
Get in touch with us. Again, moviesfromthemadhouse@gmail.com or Facebook, Twitter, Slasher, or Instagram.
We're planning on doing one of those pretty soon.
We're going to do a
Someone
short film festival.
Right.
I don't want to give away too many details. I'm thinking about gathering up. I've got 2 filmmakers lined up right now. I'm thinking about getting one more.
Okay.
I'm thinking about trying to get one more.
Maybe it'll be your
So
short
if
film.
you have short films, if you have a short film or 2 or 3, get in touch.
Yeah.
Get in touch if they're horror films or even like exploitation type films. Whatever. If they're off the radar, we'll fucking watch them. You know. So yeah, let's do this. Let's all work together and help each other out. Okay.
Horror family.
Anyway, like I said, speaking of people who look familiar, you might see some familiar faces in this music video. The first one we're showing, this is from a band called the Sawyer Family. They're not active anymore, but they were active here in our town of Eugene, Oregon, and they did do a lot of touring and shit. But they haven't been around for a little bit now. But they do have some great albums out. You can find them. You can find them on YouTube. You can find them on Spotify and shit. So check them out. But you might see some familiar faces in this particular music video. Here's the Sawyer Family with Say Goodbye.
Time to say goodbye. Pillow soaked in teardrops, I shed another one, because I cannot change what I've become. Another moonless night means another night of peace, but with the full moon also comes the beast.